out with the dogs. And look at the sky. Let me show you the sky. No, stop petting him. He's like, pat me, pat me. Luna's being really weird about her food lately. Not to me though, which is good. We're gonna open the gate. Let him out. Careful. Hopefully I won't step in a woodchuck hole. The dogs immediately check the perimeter. The sheep immediately start eating. Oh my God, I love watching them come to fresh pasture. It's very pleasurable for me. Yeah, baby. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, I think. And it's time for the Sunday message. I haven't done a Sunday message in 2 weeks, and I've been using the time to kind of think about what I want to really be doing, and if the Sunday message is part of that, which it probably is. But I was kind of spiraling down into a serious case of burnout and kind of in crisis mode, because it was clear to me that I just don't have enough time in the day to do all the things that I was doing, which is basically farming in 3 locations, taking care of my dad. But I came to the decision, and with the help of a couple of friends, was able to decide that I need to get out of the pig breeding business. That was one thing that I don't have to do. Other people breed pigs. Other people with better facilities, more experience, and more money breed pigs. So I still will probably do 3 pigs a year. I don't know. I may get out of the pig business entirely because it requires cash up front or some other way to feed them, and I don't have that. So I've talked about that before on the channel, but the thing that I haven't been doing is my music, and it's been starting to eat at me and grind away at me, and I just felt like I was losing my stuff. The appropriate term is losing my shit. I was going down, spiraling down into a kind of a depression and feeling hopeless and helpless. And with the help of Ursula and some very, very dear friends who really heard my voice, I have divested myself of the pigs. So that's good. That's good, and they've gone to good places, so I'm not worried about them. And
I think I don't think they're interested in coming back out here this way at all.
I think they're fine. They immediately started doing their thing.
Walk that way.
All right. Bye, Red Girl. Bye, Robot Tommy. I'll come by and visit every once in a while, maybe.
Hey, 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 goodbye.
It's just a huge relief. So now I am working on dismantling all the fences and stuff that I had over where I had the mamas and the baby pigs. Well, the pigs are gone. The mamas are placed with a good farm, and the babies are placed at a good farm. And now I have to basically break down all of my infrastructure they were really good beings and I liked them a lot, and I have to stop doing some things because otherwise I'm not going to make it. And I realized that my number one priority is taking care of my dad. And I can always get back into pigs later with the hard-won experience that I have. When I have the right kind of capital and the right kind of facilities so that I can, if you're going to have piglets, you got to be on site. That's, you don't have to have a barn necessarily, but you got to be on site. This cute little toad down there. So I need to throw some grass seed out into here. And it's time to roll up the hose, to roll up the single wire. It is time to pack up the pump and bid this beautiful piece of property goodbye for now anyway. I may be back. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. But boy, pigs, if you need to clear brush, I would say pigs do some pretty heavy lifting. So that's having to happen. And at the same time, I'm trying to articulate to people what this idea of a farm church is. And for me, this whole farming thing is not a business venture. It is a spiritual venture or a spiritual adventure. I feel called to put into practice some of the things I've been learning about sustainable agriculture, and also to, at some point, hopefully create a kind of a community network of people who can mentor young farmers and where we can kind of connect young farmers with people who have land, who don't want it to go to brush, but also don't want it to be farmed, by a confined animal feeding operation, right? Or some big agribusiness kind of a thing. And there's a lot of people in this area, and there's a lot of people in lots of areas who have land who don't farm it. And they want someone to steward it who's not going to be difficult to work with, who's not going to be a big talker but never do anything. And it's a kind of farming that young people actually could get into because it doesn't require a whole ton of capital, but it requires a little bit of capital, and it requires some mentorship. I think trying to do this by myself was kind of, I had to attempt it, but the reality is this is not something that you can do alone. If you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. And I'm willing to take that feedback. And collaborating with Corey was one of the best things that ever happened. But he's not my partner, you know what I mean? It's not like I am part of a husband-wife team where the husband does some of the stuff and the wife does the other stuff, and they work together and they bring their skills and talents, their blend and balance of feminine, masculine traits and talents to the table and work it together. That's why many successful farms have a man and a woman who are married, who are committed to each other and committed to the lifestyle. But a church that is spiritual but not religious, a church that doesn't hit you over the head with a bunch of stuff that is almost impossible to believe, right? A church that was like, hey, God is about love. We're here to love you, and we're here to support you in your adventures, right? And some of those people might be farmers, some of them might be entrepreneurs, some of them might just, have regular jobs. But to know that there's a community that welcomes young farmers a community that's like, hey, we have a fund, right? Plus we have tools and equipment. We have expertise, we have mentors, we have coaches, we have people who can help you be successful. Because if you're successful, we're successful, right? And for the church itself to possibly kind of act in some ways like a co-op, or maybe also like a land trust, but to know that it's not just about that there's a spiritual component. So that's what I'm trying to articulate, and at the same time I have all these gosh darn gee whiz songs and they want to be recorded and they want to have an audience, and I don't know how to get an audience. I know how to record them, I know how to put them up on YouTube, but I'm so frustrated because it's like sending them to a black hole. So few people watch, and so few people even give it a thumbs up. So few people leave comments. It's so frustrating because I know my music deserves to be heard. Hopefully it's not too windy here. My music deserves to be heard. I just, it doesn't mean it's the only music, doesn't mean it's the best music. It just, I know it's good enough to be out in the world doing some good for people who I don't know, right? Friends and family are wonderful. But as a musician, as a songwriter, I want my work to be experienced by people. I want it to be used. I want people to sing my songs. I want people to have my songs running in their head because I think they could do some good. And so I can't separate the music, the farming, and the spirituality. Every time I try, I get all twisted up. I can't. Half the songs are about spirit. Some of the songs are about love and relationships. But ultimately, if God is love, songs about love and relationships are about God too. That's it. That's the theology of Healing Pastures. God is love. And we are here to do our best to love each other, to love our animals, to love the planet, to live in a way that leaves a place for children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to grow up in and thrive in the future.
Hello.
To leave a legacy, to leave open land that will be forever dedicated to sustainable agriculture. But it has to come from a group of people. It can't just come from me. So like if any of that sounds good to you, could you leave a comment below or drop me an email if you haven't figured out how to leave a comment on YouTube. Some of my friends and relatives are like, I don't know how to do it. I appreciate that. But I need help on the channel because comments, thumbs up, subscribers, that lifts the stuff into the YouTube algorithm so that I can hopefully get these songs out, get the message out that it is possible for us to grow our food at scale, sustainably, regeneratively, with very few inputs, affordably, profitably, and satisfyingly. That's the message. I don't know. And the question is, I have so much to do every day. Is it an act of controlled folly to even bother recording videos or songs? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I just have to do it. I have to do it. It would be so much easier to not. And I think about quitting sometimes when I get burned out and I need rest and I need more rest than I'm getting. And I don't know when or how I'm going to get the rest that I'm craving. I need a break. But I don't yet have the community built so that I can take a significant break. So that's another thing. As a farm church, like, we as a congregation could help farmers who need to go on vacation, who need a break, who need to just get the freak away from the farm for more than a day, right? Like, I can manage 2 or 3 days once a month, but sometimes I don't want to go back until I've done nothing for like 7 days. Just literally done nothing for 7 days. I don't know. So, but the thing is, I care about people, and I don't always know how to express it. And it turns out I'm somewhere on the autism spectrum. Oh, that makes sense. And so I'm realizing that I have to have more compassion for myself when I get burned out, when I need space from people, from projects, when I need to just kind of crawl into my man cave for a while. So much has happened since my last Sunday message. We've had 2 calves. We've moved the sheep multiple times. I actually this week recorded a song that I'd forgotten I'd written. And so I'm going to share that today, or after this message. And so I just feel when I just do it and I don't think about it, it comes out pretty well. And then after I finish recording it, I always feel like, well, I could have said this, I should have said that, I could have said this, I should have said that. And I think the message today is having compassion for ourselves. And that's what the song is about. The song talks about, and it is inspired by a guy named Donny Epstein, who is the founder of something called Network Chiropractic. He's actually an energy healer, chiropractor turned energy healer. And he had his whole 12-step process of healing. And I was inspired by the first step to write a song. And I was going to write a song for each of the 12 steps, but only the first one got written. So it begins, all change, all transformation begins when we can't take it anymore. Begins when we have so gone down into the depths of despair, depression, despondency, whatever, that it almost seems like it's over. That's that place of deep suffering. And then when we get to the place where it's like, okay, I guess this is just the way it's going to be. Once we accept it, okay, this is reality, then there's the opportunity to begin healing it. It's like we cannot heal what we cannot feel. And unfortunately, it's excruciating pain and suffering that causes us to go, okay, I got to do something different. I can't just keep doing what I'm doing. I must do something differently. I have to think differently. I have to take different actions. I have to stop doing things that are not resulting in me going where I want to go or experiencing what I want to experience. And I have to start doing things that have a better chance of taking me in the correct direction, or the path with heart direction, the direction that feels in alignment. And in that process, we have to let go. We have to let go of the way we thought it should be, the way we wish it would be. We have to let go of our attachment to the way things were. We have to let go to our attachment to old beliefs, old patterns, old behaviors, old relationships, old ways of making money. We have to be able to be flexible enough to let the fuck go. And it's often only when we're in excruciating pain that we can actually do that we can actually release that, or begin the process of healing and releasing. So a couple of weeks ago, I was there, and the process of transformation and change is happening. But the thing is, it's not one and done. This is an ongoing process. And particularly if you don't fit into the neurotypical culture, if you are highly sensitive, if you are an introvert, if you are someone who feels things deeply and maybe has a bit of a thin skin like me, there's hope. There are people like you out here attempting to work on our stuff so that we can live happy, productive lives and contribute to society in some shape or form without losing our souls, without losing our minds, without losing our freedom, our independence, our clarity, whatever it is that we get by walking a different path. So the song is intense, and I'm not going to apologize for it being intense, but it ends, I think, very positively and very powerfully. And I'm still playing with the lyrics. I'm still playing with whether it should be in the first person or whether it should be in the second person plural. Right now, it's in the second person plural. So if you have any thoughts about that, any of you literate people, let me know. And yeah, so let's send some prayers out. Let's send some prayers out to those of us who need them. Let's send some prayers out to the people we know who are daring to stand up for our democracy. Let's send out some prayers for those people who are daring to walk a path that isn't heavily traveled, to maybe even be the groundbreakers, the trailblazers, the thought leaders, the heart-centered teachers that are here and amongst us, if we would only take the time to listen. So, prayers all the way out. Prayers to those people in troubled spots in the world, from Libya to Morocco to South America, North America, East, West, all 4 points on the globe, 4 corners of the earth, sending out prayers to those who could use a little love, a little support, and a reminder that we live in an amazing place, and what a gift to be alive. What an incredible blessing to be here, even on the worst day, even with the most intense pain, even on battlefields, even right in the throes of dying. It's still a gift. Because we didn't have to be here. We didn't have to exist. None of this has to exist. The very fact that it does is a miracle. And I am grateful for it. And I'm grateful for you, my friend. Please, if you haven't already done it yet, subscribe. Leave a comment below. Leave a thumbs up. I love you. And I'm heading to Albany this weekend. So if you want meat, I need to empty the freezers out because I have some very large animals coming in the future. So, to freezer camp. Peace, love, grooviness. Amen. Here's the song, I Will Light a Lamp for You. Disconnected and in despair, everything seems beyond repair. Helpless, hopeless, and afraid. Nothing are more than this dis-ease. We are more than these fields of dreams. When we accept that there will be no relief, that's when everything begins to release. Suffering is where we all begin. Breathe the love into the wounded place within. Overwhelmed and tangled up in shame, we must stop attempting to explain why what is not what we would wish for it to be. When we accept it as it is, we set ourselves free. Suffering is where we all begin. Breathe the love into the wounded place within. We are more than what we think is real. We can't heal what we cannot feel. The love I feel for you caught me unprepared, because I accept myself more than I have ever dared. Suffering is where we all begin. Breathe the love into the wounded place within. How does the rage of open wounds pull us through the night? How does the source of countless tunes always bring the light? I will light a lamp for you, and I will leave it